Hey, my name is Amanda Cook, and I am actually going to do a quick little video to go over the health, safety, nutrition, and how they're interrelated. This is actually for school, but it's a neat educational thing to even think about. So I'm going to go over what the definitions are of health, safety, and nutrition, and some examples of them and what everything is about. So by definition, for health, it's for a person's mental or physical condition. So when you think health, really when you think, oh, I'm healthy, it means, you're in good shape. Safety would be the condition of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk, or injury. So when you think, well, I'm being safe, like you're out on a job, you might have to wear a hard hat, or you've got on your steel-toed shoes. Maybe you're having to wear steel gloves for cutting purposes, something like that, to be able to keep you safe and to keep you away from injury. Nutrition, on the other hand, is the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. So having nutrition is very important, and having all three combined, they all play a role with each other, and one cannot survive without the other one. Now, they are related, and health, safety, and nutrition are very closely related, and they're intertwined, and they are very dependent on one another. The status of each has a direct effect on the quality of the others. So if your nutrition's poor, it's therefore going to affect your health. If your health is poor, it's going to affect your safety, because say your health is poor and you're very tired. Well, when you start doing something for safety issues, then you could potentially put yourself at risk. So it would be a safety risk, in that example. An example for children, on the other hand, of how they're all related is children who receive all the essential nutrients for a healthful diet are more likely to reach a growth potential, benefit from learning opportunities, and experience fewer illnesses and have ample energy for play. And what that means is that if you have a well-balanced diet, then you're going to have more energy to be able to play all day long. If you've got more energy, that also means you're going to sleep better at night. And that's also going to increase your health because you're outside playing, you've got the energy, you're very energetic. And that's also going to make sure that you are aware of everything that's going on and to make sure that you are safe. So they all play a good part in each other. For children's health, there are nutrition, of course, does play a big part in how a child's health is, and there's also the environment that they're around, and basically their genes. So sometimes parents can, pass on bad genes. You've got like cystic fibrosis, which is a disease that can be passed on from the genes, and that's something that the child cannot help. An environmental factor could easily be, like for a local version, living near Champion and breathing in all the smoke in the air, it could potentially have a health effect on somebody for that particular reason. And it's not necessarily the child's fault, but it is within the environmental factors that could potentially change for a child's health. And several examples of environmental factors that support and promote healthy outcomes. You can make nutritious food choices. So instead of popping a Twix, you can go ahead and go eat a great apple that day, and that's going to give you enough to, subside that urge that you're having. You can participate in daily physical and recreational activities. So you're outside running around. A great example would be, in my personal life, would be that we started push mowing the yard. So we have 1.33 acres of land. And we started doing push mower, which gives me the physical activity. I'm also outside, and it really helps to bring everything together. Try to be able to get between 8 and 9 hours of high quality, uninterrupted nighttime sleep. And that is hard for most of us, and I feel especially as a parent, it's very hard. And however, the day does seem to go smoother if you've got that much sleep going on. Have access to high quality of medical and dental care. And the reason why is because, of course, if something does happen, then you do need medical care to be able to take care of whatever the illness happens to be. And, of course, your teeth are very important. They play a vital role in many things that we do. And if your teeth are poor, it is going to have an effect on your health. And you should always go ahead and go get a cleaning done every 6 months, just to make sure that everything's okay and that you don't have things that are getting ready to happen. And it just keeps everything really great. So you also, to promote a healthy outcome, you want to start looking at reducing your stress levels. And as an adult, I do know that we have way too much stress and we look at it way too much. However, there are things that we can do to reduce our stress. You can have a calming time when you do nothing but maybe you go soak in the bathtub and you just relax and let the day drift away. There are things that we can do, and sometimes it's even deep breathing exercises that help us. I teach the kids around me to do. They take deep breaths, and that's how we calm down, and that helps to reduce stress. When you reside in homes, child facilities, school, and workplaces, make sure that they are clean and they are safe, and that will help tremendously. And you can have friends and opportunities to form stable and meaningful relationships. And you wouldn't really think about a relationship, whether it is just with a friendship or whether it is more of a relationship, that being something that can affect your health. But it can. If you actually are more in a depressed state, your health can lower. So keeping that positive attitude and having your friends around can help dramatically. Factors that are affecting children's safety, on the other hand, depending on where the child is developmentally, one should always make sure to arrange a space to accommodate each child's state. Meaning, if like the child's a crawler, you want to make sure to keep items up out of the floor. Or if they're, if they are a mouth baby, meaning that they're going to put things within their mouth all the time, they're constantly tasting, they're constantly, licking on something, then you don't want to have anything out dangerous or anything that they could potentially choke on. For curious children, you want to make sure to keep them within sight, because that means that they're climbers. They're going to open up the cabinets more and need to make sure that everything is safe. You've got the cabinet locks on. You've got stuff, if they climb on it, that they're not going to get hurt, meaning like the couches and stuff like that, just to make sure that there's nothing around that they could fall on and potentially injure themselves. No sharp edges really on the coffee tables. And a great way to help prevent that, and it's a really cheap way, but it's very beneficial that I've found with the children in this facility, is the noodles that you use for the pool. Get those, take a slit in them, and wrap them around the edges of the coffee table or anything like that. Use some tape. A lot of times they'll just go ahead and stick, but it helps kids to not get that pump knot. It even helps adults as they're walking by so they don't get injured. So that's a great little tip there. And then for disabled children, you're going to make sure to observe them more depending on what their disability is. It could be as simple as, they geek out when they see the color green. So you're going to want to make sure you don't have any green around them. And each child is different, and you just need to make sure that each child has their own safety precautions taken. And nutrients play a critical role in a child's life, and they include nutrients will supply energy to a child. So you want to make sure, of course, to put in all the good food so you get out good results. Promoting growth and development is also great from nutrition, and it also provides resistance to illness and infection because you've got good food going in, so your body's preparing for good food and it's creating a better atmosphere. So the bad germs and everything, they really can't survive there that well. And you're building and repairing tissue. So when a child gets injured, it's more likely that they're going to do a whole lot better and quicker than a child who's already sick. Nutrition effect on children's behavior, learning, and well-being. Well-nourished children, they're more apt to be alert, attentive, physically active, and they're better able to benefit from learning experiences. And what this means is that a child who has been well-fed is going to be a whole lot more than if they're hungry. If they're hungry, that's really what they're concentrating more on. They're going to be more attentive to what's going on around them. And they are going to be more physically active because they've got the energy that's building up in them, and they need to make sure to be able to have that release. And in conclusion, the health, safety, and nutrition are very much linked to each other. A break in one causes a break in the others. And for this reason, we need to make sure to live a healthier lifestyle. Because really, I believe, my personal belief is that it's healthy first. You know, you've got to make sure to provide that healthy meal, that vitamins that the children need, to make sure that everything else can flow into place. They are all linked. I do think Real Nutrition is the #1, because without it, your health can go down, and if your health's down, then your safety can go down. So that is some great information there. There's some great tips and other great things for people to take with them and their knowledge of throughout the day and other daycare centers. So I hope you've enjoyed my lovely video. I hope everybody has a great day.